you're listening to.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
Ryan McCoffey is back with us. What's going on, man?
Espresso my coffee.
I did not bring coffee today.
Hey, hey, pass that over, dude. I need some up here.
Same here.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Rather than choosing anger, I have chosen peace and alcohol.
I, too, have chosen the same, although the commissioner will tell you different. All right, man. The Jets played my Colts, or my wife's Colts, yesterday. Jets grabbed the lead. What happened? Just what happened?
Sauce Gardner will no longer be known as Sauce in this household. He will just be straight up Ahmad Gardner in this house.
I've heard that on WFAN quite a few times. And I also heard that with my buddy Jake Osmond, too.
Yeah, I'm happy I went to do other activities yesterday because other activities have given me joy as opposed to the New York Jets this year. I had so much hope.
The Grey Cup, perhaps?
We talked about this in September. I had a lot of hope.
Yep.
The Jets had just beat the Patriots on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat my Jets a few weeks later. So tat for tat, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
But the game that changed the season was not the Bills game. It was not the Steelers game. It was the Broncos game. Because it truly showed whose Jets team was.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. It just showed y'all weren't scrappy enough.
No, I don't know what happened I can't tell you what. They're not scrappy. They're soft. They can't tackle. They can't identify them. They can't identify themselves correctly on offense. You should go through Breece Hall. Breece Hall is your guy. Breece Hall did most of the work yesterday on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't recognize that. So whoever the next quarterback is, whoever next coach or GM is going to be, because Joe Douglas has quietly quit.
Yes, he has.
And I'm pretty sure that firing decision by Woody Johnson after the London game, I think that was the worst decision of the season. I think that it backfired on them, and they've had one win since. So, like, what do you think that was going to do? What do you think that was going to do? Initially, I defended it because I'm sitting there going, okay, Woody's making a decision. His regime has never fired a coach in season, and he's doing something about it. He's getting rid of the problem. What he thinks is the problem now. It turns out that wasn't part of the problem. Coaching is part of the problem. That's the symptom. It's not the diagnosis. Player performance on the field is a symptom. It's not a diagnosis.
Right.
The diagnosis is the ownership. Has been and will be since 2000.
Mm-hmm. Al Groh was the coach.
So I have made the decision to, like, we're not doing, like, my partner and I on Victory Mondays, we're not going to do it anymore because neither of us are in the mood to talk about a team that is underperforming, that has so much talent but underperforms every single week.
Yes.
And
we
find better things to do with our lives. Yesterday, I went to a local hockey game yesterday. I enjoyed myself there.
Good.
Even though the Adirondack Thunder lost 7-1, I still enjoyed myself because at least the beer was good and the company was better.
I was about to say, man, you're residing in the basement here with me, so I mean, what else are we supposed to do?
Yeah, and then it's all of a sudden Miami's coming back, and I mean, granted they played the Raiders and the Rams the last 2 weeks, but
we lost to the Rams. I can't say anything.
I looked at them. I looked at the Rams as my bounce back. I looked at that game as the Rams bounce back game, and they bounced back.
I just love how all these bounce back games are at New England's expense. It's like, come on here. What are we good for here? What are we, the rebound chick?
This season, you guys are, yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
But yeah, that Grey Cup was good up until the fourth quarter, and
then
Kolaros,
Toronto just said,
yeah, well,
we're done.
We're gonna talk about it on Total Football Talk Extra on Friday.
Yes, I am a fan of Extra.
Yeah, we're on Friday, but Drew and I were going back and forth. He can't. I know you've watched. He cannot pronounce Liram Hairellahu's name to the life.
Nope.
It's just,
nope. He's tried.
We said,
Drew, God bless you, but you couldn't do it.
And here's the thing: I said if the Toronto Argonauts win the Grey Cup, we have to try to get him on so he can try to pronounce his name in front of him. So, that was a decent game all the way up to the fourth quarter, and Kolaros cuts his finger. You can tell he's in discomfort, and he throws his interceptions, and
that was that.
That was it. That was a game changer.
Same with Nick Bosa yesterday in Santa Clara. Once he went out, the Seahawks took advantage. Hey, it happens.
I'm sure my co-host Dustin is one of the happiest dudes because he said I'm gonna go home and watch my Seahawks get blasted by the 49ers.
I know he's jumping up and down doing a victory dance right now.
Yep.
Okay, to your New Jersey Devils.
Yes, a much happier topic.
Much happier topic.
Much happier topic.
Talk to me about your Devils, man. They're doing great this year so far.
So far, so good. So good. I think part of it is the new coaching system. They're a little bit more conservative than they were last year with Lindy Ruff. Lindy Ruff's systems have a shelf life these days. We saw it in Dallas. We saw it in New Jersey. And now you're seeing in Buffalo right now. The Buffalo Sabres they're no slouch. They're no slouch. Although Tage Thompson got hurt the other day, but yeah, this team is good. They've figured out their goaltending. Their defense is much better than last year. Granted, they got goosed. They got skunked 4-0 in Tampa, who absolutely has a doubles number for the last half decade.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised to see what they did in Florida and at Sunrise.
Yeah.
Those two games last week. I said they're coming off a really bad loss against San Jose. That was on the heels of a back-to-back of a comeback, a huge comeback win against the Islanders the night before. Poor performance against San Jose. Can't get pucks in front of Mackenzie Blackwood, the former New Jersey Devil. Just can't produce anything. And you figured, okay, this might be that game is going to tell what kind of teams this is going to be. They go into Florida, beat Florida 4-1. Say, okay, is this an aberration? Because Florida's defending Stanley Cup champion, even with all the players they lost.
Right.
They're still one of the best teams in the league.
Yep. To be the champs, you got to beat the champs.
2 nights later, 6-2. You just went into Florida, into Sunrise, into the den of the defending Stanley Cup champion,
and you waxed them,
and you beat him by a combined score of 10-3. Incredible.
How do you explain that? How do you explain that one?
In the words of one John Sterling, "That's hockey, Susan."
Speaking of John Sterling, congrats to him on his retirement. And I got to send a shout. I did this on Friday. I'll do it today. I got to send a shout to my buddy Dave Sims, who will be the brand new play-by-play voice of the New York Yankees. I'm working on getting him on the show so we all can show him some love. A fellow cancer survivor, been the television voice of the Mariners for 18 years. And when I got that, I was so happy for him, because if anybody can follow a legend, hey, then then that's him. That's Dave. That's Dave Sims.
Easily.
Yeah.
That is Dave Sims. And I'm so happy for him. I am so pleased that he will be the radio voice of the New York Yankees. So now I got him to listen to. I got Robert Ford from the Astros to listen to. I got my buddies in Chicago for the Chicago White Sox to listen to. And I tell you what, boy, it's going to be a great year listening to baseball on the radio next year, man. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I just hope that your White Sox improve from whatever they had this year. Man.
I think they will.
Hope they do.
I believe they will. I believe they will. Because there's no way to go but up. All right.
Yeah. I was about to say, don't get me started on what we need up here in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Because it was the Blue Jays that knocked out the Red Sox.
Yep.
Out of playoff contention.
Yeah. We have absolutely zip for pitching right now, and our offense needs a whole lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Hell of a lot of work. But
I mean, we're relying too much on Devers. We need to spread that cash around a little bit more and try to make some moves. And granted, there are a few big bats, Juan Soto, that are currently available, but yet again, do we have the cap room to make these moves?
Juan Soto will wind up with the Mets. I'm going to say that out loud.
I just got the Ghiblies.
You and me both, and we don't have.
Listen, the Yankees are trying to retain him. The Mets are trying to snatch him.
Yeah, but they got to figure out what to do with Pete Alonso too, because he's also a name that's floating out there in free agency.
He's staying. They're going to find a way to make him stay.
Nah, he'll be a Dodger.
No, I'll do one better. He's coming to Boston. Let's get rid of this. He's coming to Boston.
Okay. I'll mess with both of you. He'll wind up in either Houston or on the South Side. And by the way,
the South Side too soon to be Nashville White Sox. I mean, sorry. Sorry.
I'm going to cop you for that.
Sorry.
At least he's not going to.
And look, I've had to say it. Okay.
At least he's not ending up in Sacramento.
Oof.
Woof.
Oof.
That situation there. Woof.
Well, he could always be going down to wherever the hell Tampa Bay's relocating for the season.
Oh, they're playing at George Steinbrenner Field for the season.
Because it's going to take a full season to fix that roof.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be tearing that place down anyway to make room for a new park.
So they may as well just tear it down and build it now.
Yeah, they should, but
alternatively,
and build it now.
Alternatively, you sell a team to a group of investors in Montreal, and we get the Expos back, baby.
No.
Yeah, I know.
It'll
never happen. It'll never happen.
I know. But you know what? The raise to Montreal would work.
It would work. I thought it should work. The only problem is you
they
can't
don't have a park.
They don't have a park because you can't use Olympic Stadium.
No.
The rule is right. They fix the roof, which will take another 10 years at Olympic Stadium, and you can't host an event if there's more than 3 centimeters of snow on the roof of that stadium currently.
Mm-hmm. So
that's basically till about. No, I'd say till about May in Montreal.
So they'd be on the road for the first month of the year,
if not 2.
Yeah.
Unless they come up with some outdoor stadium.
Oh God.
There were plans in the works until they moved to have an outdoor stadium in one of the old rail yards in Montreal, but unfortunately they couldn't find Jeffrey Loria had to
Patooey.
Yeah, exactly.
There's your hospital moment.
Thank you. Patooey.
It's like, well, I can't afford to pay. I can't afford to play this team. I can't afford to do this and that. And he's suddenly he's like, you know what? It's major league problem. You take care of this problem. I'll buy the Florida Marlins instead.
Yeah, and we see what happens there.
Dumbass.
Okay. There's one other topic that I had in mind.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
I can't believe I'm going to bring this up today.
Oh, boy.
What?
Give me this button, because I don't know how this word will go over, but I will do it anyway. The pacification of Bronny James.
Oh.
That?
I was bracing.
You're going to bring up that.
But it's Monday.
I know it's Monday, but we got you here for the first time in a couple of months. I'm hoping to get you back weekly, but I know that depends on your crazy schedule right now. But doggone it, I'm going to end this segment with some fun and pose the question. What's going on with kids today? What's going on with entitled, privileged kids?
I don't know, Jerry Seinfeld. You telling me?
I think I've got
kids today.
What's going on with
these kids?
You know what? No. I've got the answer for this.
Okay.
Right here. Yes, LeBron. It is you. There's always been you. Will forever be you. You're the reason why your kid's such a little forever and ever. Amen. Carry on.
Thank you. So where do you do the? I'll end with this. Do the Jets do what I suggest? Do the Jets do what the commissioner suggested the Bears do? Just bring everybody in and push the plunger. Just let them all go.
We don't. It's gonna be another rebuild. There's no rhyme or reason not to have another rebuild. Like I said, Joe Douglas is quiet quitting. His coaching staff is overwhelmed. We don't know what's going to happen with Woody, because with this new administration coming in, if he's going to run it back and be the UK ambassador again. So my suggestion to the Johnsons: sell a team.
You beat me to it.
Sell the team, please. Give it to somebody who cares, who will hire the right people. They figured it out in San Francisco. They figured it out in Kansas City. They figured it out in Buffalo. They figured it out everywhere else. Even the Bears had some success in the early 2000s.
Yes, early 2000s.
And the Lions figured it out.
The Lions have definitely figured it out.
The Lions have figured it out. They're biting kneecaps. They're the best team in the league right now. They are hands down. And I had some Eagles fan in my chat on Saturday morning say the Eagles were the best team in the league.
No, they're not.
And we said no, absolutely not. They are not the best team in the league.
The Eagles are a Jekyll and Hyde kind of team.
The Eagles need to make their offensive identity Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
He is their offense. He's their offense. Yeah, great. Jalen Hurts can do Jalen Hurts things. Granted, he has a running game.
Jalen Hurts has regressed.
But I think he can be more of a facilitator. They need to make him more of a facilitator rather than the point person of that offense.
Rather
than it goes through Saquon. It goes through Saquon.
Now the biggest thing is, why does it seem like this league now, outside of 3 or 4 teams, is scared to run the ball?
I'll tell you why. Because they're so hell bent on putting up passing yards. They saw what Drew Brees did. They saw what Tom Brady did. And it seems like the goal they want is 5,000 yards instead of 3,000 rushing. And say again.
Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, all those guys.
But see, the point with Peyton Manning, Jim Kelly, and Dan Marino, they had an accompaniment for their offense.
They did.
A running game.
Yeah.
Same with Brady for the longest time in New England.
Exactly. Same with Brady. They were not afraid to run the football.
No, and this is the crazy part that drives me nuts with the Jets offense.
Mm-hmm.
At least the Broncos, when they brought in Peyton Manning for the last however many years he was with the team, 7 seasons? 5 seasons?
5 seasons.
5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 2 seasons, I had to think John Elway sat him down and said, listen, we know what you can do with the ball. We know you can throw the ball around. You're getting older.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a complimentary running attack for you because you can't do this by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets management should have done this with Aaron Rodgers before the season began. Actually, heck, before last season began. You should have said, we know you're talented. We know you've got an arm.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting older. We know you want to win. We can win with Breece Hall as your running back. And they've failed to do that.
Too scared to run the offense through Breece Hall. You saw it in the second half yesterday. You saw it.
You did. I didn't.
Well, I had to do the game. So
yes, you did.
What's your common comment? Wifepick.exe.
Wifepick.exe executing wifepick.exe completed.
She's, you know what? I told her that, and she started cracking up. And she says, well, and he says he has 2 of them, one for you and one for me. I told her the one you did for wife pick, and then the Homer pick, and she just starts cracking up laughing. My daughter even gets in on the fun.
Yeah,
my daughter Cheyenne gets in on the fun.
I did pay attention loosely to the scores just because I just at first intermission I was just looking at the scores and I see the Jets had the ball. And by the way, Jeff Ulbrich, if your quarterback who has won games before says, "Let's go for it on 4th down and win this game," you should probably listen to him instead of going for a field goal because knowing your defense has been soft all season long. The defense you put together, by the way, can't stop the run, can't tackle worth a damn. You should have listened to your quarterback.
And the Colts marched right downfield on that game-winning drive and stole the game.
As soon as I saw the field goal pop up on the game cast, I said, nope, this game is going to be – the Colts are going to win this game. And guess what happened? But then we were also looking at the Lions-Jaguars score line, and we just can't stop laughing. We can't stop laughing.
No.
We can't stop laughing.
And the thing is, the Jaguars did 3-0 in that game, and in essence, pissed them off.
You took the lead on us. How dare you? Here's our foot in your ass.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, we'll spot you 3 points. They'll take it over from here.
28 unanswered. Then it's 28-6, and then they put 24 unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Lions said, "We're done for the day."
We'll pack it in. Go watch the Grey Cup.
Yep. Morning shift for Cole Johnson. Welcome to the Fanatics Feedback Zone. He says the diagnosis is Woody Johnson and that ayahuasca sipping, toe picking, MySpace retreat attending space cadet. Aaron, I destroy teams with my bare hands, Rogers.
He will never let that. Cole Johnson doesn't hate a thing except for Aaron Rodgers. I don't get it. I
do.
Well, you do.
Same way. I understand.
I don't.
The quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. He should be ignored at all times.
So you wouldn't have gone for it on 4th and 2? Anyway. I thought this was about joy. This wasn't. I didn't want to talk about the Jets today, but you made me do it. So,
hey, I gotta talk about New England later. Come on now.
Are you gonna take a sip?
No. I mean, I have a week off. I could, but for comedic effect. But nah. I got work to do today.
I had wine on the air yesterday during the 49ers game. My wife brought me a glass of wine, along with 2 rounds of dinner, another round of wine, then dessert. So we had some fun.
You're a happy boy.
I'm very much a happy boy. All right, let's let you out of here. Coffee
Thanks.
with McCarthy has returned. Hurry up and come back weekly, will you?
Okay. So FYI, we're taping. I have a new hockey podcast, no credentials required, called the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast, where I talk Devils. I have two co-hosts, Brian and Dan. We call him Daniel Smooth. We talk Devils, Rangers, Islanders. OG show back tomorrow at 7:05, and we got a Thanksgiving show at 10 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. So,
Thanksgiving morning. I'm gonna go see my nieces and nephews, and then watch Detroit beat the hell out of the Bears. I'm actually going to watch the Lions game because they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the Lions game. I don't care about the Cowboys. I don't care about the night game. Going to watch the Lions game. We're going to eat during the Cowboys game and then go home and pass out. And I think I'm going to see my grandkids again. Ryan McCarthy joining us. Special edition of Coffee with McCarthy. Man, hurry up and fix your schedule and come back with us weekly. Please. Okay. We miss you.
I miss being missed.
Thank you, brother, very much.
Thanks, fellas.
From North Carolina,
Jay Spivey joins us from North Carolina this morning. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Where do you want to start? Dealer's choice. Where do you want to start?
Oh, it's up to you. You're the host of the show. You tell me.
Okay.
I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. Then I will go there. Who came up with the idea of this NBA Cup stuff and why are they doing it?
It's called dollar bills, y'all. And the fact that nobody cares about the NBA until Christmas Day, that's why. They want to put eyeballs on while the NFL's in control, and that's the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet again, the
people
ratings.
really watch this stuff?
They think people are. If you
not.
remember last year, they made such a big deal who's in the championship. How'd that work out for those two teams?
I mean, look at the ratings
Lakers
of the
and
NBA
Pacers, who
Cup.
cares?
Look at the ratings that the NBA Cup gets. It's about as bad as the NASCAR playoff system.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nobody cares about the NBA until Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, I'm going to see. It's going to be interesting to see how the ratings are with the NFL going head to head with it.
Well, the NFL is going to smash them, even though they're mostly
even though it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's the thing. Everyone's going to pick up the Netflix subscription, watch
exactly
those games. And the NBA Cup is still going to be screwed over. And quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, it's deserved because it's too gimmicky.
It really is. And those stupid floors.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing to come out of it are the uniforms, and even most of those are complete trash.
Well, not even just that, not even the NBA Cup, but the whole regular season. I mean, it seems like every team has 20 different uniforms now.
Yes.
I mean, I get it's marketing, but you got to stick to it.
Even if you look at a general regular season game, they always have a different floor.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Well, now it started with different uniforms, and now they've gone to the different floors, and I'm confused.
The NBA Cup floors are hideous.
Oh, dear God.
At least.
They are. They're ugly.
To kind of go along that, my former high school, where I went to high school, has gone to what they call the black top. They painted it black, and it looks horrible, and they think it's great. The entire floor is
I hate to say it, but these floors look like something you'd find in NBA 2K.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
They painted it black?
The entire floor is black. The only demarcations are for all the different basketball lines and all the volleyball lines. It's hideous, and they think it's wonderful.
They paint it.
So they think they're playing on
pavement.
Where is this?
Have I been there? Where is this?
It's in Winston. I won't say the high school, but it's in Winston-Salem.
I think I know where it is.
They've literally painted the floor black.
I think I know where it is.
Pavement. You've got to be kidding me.
No, I kid you not. It's hideous. And I'd
Oh,
seen
man.
pictures of it until, I cover a lot of high school games. So
Yeah.
until I actually walked in there and saw it, I was just amazed. I mean, it's just amazing.
Whitney Young did the same thing for their floor. Instead of it being painted black, they painted it blue the last time I was there.
Now, I mean, I get the idea of, colored feet. I get the idea of the colored football fields.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get that. Boise State should have been the only one who did it.
Yep.
Yes.
The rest of them are gimmicks.
They are.
This is so these NBA Cup floors are so gimmicky.
They're hideous.
And I mean the fact that they've even got LEDs in the floors now.
Oh.
What type of BS, dude?
But they want to talk about they don't have any money.
Where are these LEDs in the floor, Shane?
From what I'm understanding, and it's only a couple of teams that are utilizing them, quote unquote. It's actually to mark where the 3-point lines are and, to show off where the shots are being taken.
Oh, jeez. Come on. I mean, the free throw lanes have the NBA Cup design.
Well, the whole cup is on the floor basically now.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at some of these floor surfaces right now. I am appalled at what the Celtics did. I mean, leave the parquet floor alone, will you please?
I'm appalled what the Lakers. I mean, sorry, not the Lakers. The Celtics do with their uniforms.
Don't even get me started on how bad those are.
All the time.
Don't get me started on how bad.
Red Auerbach is rolling over in his grave with seeing these uniforms.
Yeah, he is.
So many of the
how many of our listeners here know who Red Auerbach is?
Not just Auerbach, dude, but I can guarantee you, Parrish is rolling over in his grave right now.
Casey Jones, Dennis Johnson.
I mean, in what concept is that uniform a good idea? Because we really don't have black in our color scheme.
Mm-mm.
Well,
it looks like something you'd find on a JV squad.
I could go along with that. Well, there's just about every sports team in the country.
Yeah.
They want to trot out black with all their uniforms, and they don't have black anywhere near their team colors.
I'm looking at the surface floor for the Brooklyn Mess.
Ew.
Wow.
You want to see one worse? You want to see one worse? Look at the Houston Rockets.
Oh, no. Oh, God. I'm seeing some of these floors now. I'm seeing the design they put in the floor. Seeing the one for Cleveland. I saw the one for Dallas. That's hideous. The Nuggets
the sad
is
part
hideous.
They're trying to generate just for teenagers and younger kids, and
yep,
it seems like they like this junk. But not everything in this world is about kids.
This is something you would. These floors are something you'd find in the NBA 2K game.
You want to see a floor that's hideous? I submit to you the Detroit Pistons.
I saw that.
The whole floor is messed
Well, look how crappy that team is, period.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but that team hasn't been relevant since the 80s, and that counts the Malice in the Palace.
What the hell is this floor they've done for the Houston Rockets?
You see how bright red that is?
It's awful.
Who did this?
Again, this is something. These are designs you'd find in the NBA 2K games, plain and simple. And that's the problem: is they're trying to cater to the younger crowd.
Yeah.
With this stuff, I mean, that's why NASCAR is getting hit. Is they're trying to cater because no one's going to sit around nowadays and watch 2.5, 3 hours of racing.
Right.
I mean, that's why Formula One's kicking our tail in ratings, is because that only goes about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to me, I think the stoppages they have in these longer races are ridiculous. Just keep racing.
The stages
are ridiculous.
NASCAR got doomed with the stages, plain and simple.
That's just stupid. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got like 4 or 5 stages a race. That's just ridiculous.
And again, this is a gimmicky thing to try to keep people's interest.
Well, as I've stated on this show many times, and people I talk to all the time, they don't want to listen to me say this. It's a lot of it is because they want to continue to fight through the NFL season and continue to be on and take the money, but they want to. They don't see the fact that, like on Sundays, honestly, what are you doing on Sunday but watching the NFL?
Right.
And I say this over and over and over. It's not just the NASCAR, but yesterday. Why on earth, of all days, did the WNBA choose to have their draft lottery yesterday?
Yes.
How stupid is that?
Stupid.
I mean,
Stupid.
Here's the big thing. I caught the schedule release for NASCAR, and I saw when most of their start times are. Back half of the season, the majority of the races are starting at either 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's just dumb.
That's dumb.
That's right as the 1 o'clock games are ending and just before the 4:05s go off. You're not going to compete with that schedule.
You're not.
The WNBA got slapped with their ratings trying to face off in their finals against the NFL's late schedule.
It makes no sense why they want to play their finals games on Sunday. Finals.
Okay.
They can play them on. They can play them on Tuesday where hardly nothing's
They played
going
2
on.
of their 5 finals games on Sunday.
And they got destroyed.
And they got destroyed.
I mean, NASCAR's championship race got about 3 million eyes on it.
Well, that's their fault. See, golf did the right thing. PGA did the right thing. Although they say the regular season starts in October, let's just face it, it's not really not really the beginning of the regular season.
No, it's not.
The regular season ends on Labor Day weekend, which is when it should finish.
Yes.
They got wise to the fact that the NFL was killing them in the ratings, so they pushed back. They moved their schedule back, and now the PGA Championship is Labor Day weekend.
Exactly. And, that way they're not getting destroyed. You're getting the early slate of the NFL season. I mean, you're 1 or 2 weeks in at the most, or getting ready to go into the first week. You've got no competition.
Although I don't understand it, if you're a quote sports fan, how you don't watch the NFL. I don't get it. But
I don't
even
get it
if
either.
you do, what are you watching on Sunday that's relevant?
Yeah, you're not. To the Fanatics Feedback Zone, Thomas O'Boyle is joining us. Good morning. See you on Zebo at 8 a.m. Pacific. Yes, sir. He says, fly, Eagles, fly. He said, agreed. No stages to
the app in NASCAR.
Yep, with Jay's argument. I'm going back and looking at these floors. What in the world are some of the Knicks floor for the NBA Cup is orange.
It's hideous.
I mean, I won't turn it on because it hurts my eyeballs to watch those floors.
It hurts mine.
And yet again, they think this is a good idea.
I'm afraid to see what they came up with the Pacers, which is the team that's closest to me. And the Chicago Bulls are 3 hours away. I'm afraid to see what they came up with. I'm looking at the Nets, dear God. They got the honeycomb for the Hornets. And the Hive and on the sideline, the Hive is alive. No, it isn't.
Yeah. It's alive with losses.
Alive with alive with losses. It's alive with losses. I get Denver's elevation 5280 of this Mile High City. That's obvious. Oh my God.
What?
Oh my Lord.
Whose floor did you see?
Indiana.
I was about to say you do not want to see Indiana's because I'm looking at it right now.
I get they want to pay homage to Slick Leonard. And they have his phrase on the sideline. Leave it there. Please. Leave it there.
Have you seen Toronto's floor?
Do I want to?
It looks like Barney the dinosaur got flattened on it.
Oh, I thought it was a hockey stick.
No. It seriously looks like Barney the dinosaur got flattened.
Oh no. Oh God. No, thank you. I don't want to see it anymore.
Who watches
came up with
this?
this idea?
Who watches this?
Who came up with this idea?
And to think the Lakers of all teams, hung a banner for this last year.
They sure did.
One of the
It's
iconic
the only
teams in
banner
pro
they're going to
sports.
hang.
They hung a banner for this.
They hung a banner.
It's the only one they're hanging, plain and simple.
Well, they're not winning with LeBron.
No, they're not.
Hell no.
No, they're not. And we briefly talked about this earlier in the show. His son Bronny will not travel on commercial flights with the G League team. I found that out and I started laughing.
So he can do whatever he wants.
Oh, apparently.
Well, let's face it, guys. I mean, if his name were not James and he was not LeBron's son, you think he would have been drafted by anybody in the NBA, let alone the Lakers?
No. Nepotism is real.
I mean, he barely played for Southern Cal.
Yeah, barely. Barely. And he winds up drafted in the second round. With what skills?
He wouldn't have been drafted if it weren't for his dad.
I mean, I'll say it again, with what skills?
And I'm tired of hearing about him, frankly.
I'm tired of it too.
Talk about people who can play.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the resurgence of the Warriors. And no one wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about that. They're sitting up top of the Western Conference right now.
As good as he is, he's still probably one of the most underrated athletes of all time. And I'm talking about
Stephen Curry. Yep.
And I was just reading not too long before I got on the show here. I was just talking about, I was reading what Shaq said about how 3-pointers are ruining the NBA. And it's not just the NBA, it's all of basketball. Everybody thinks they can be Steph Curry and shoot threes. Not everybody can shoot like Steph Curry.
Mm-mm.
I mean, like I told you last week,
you know how much time and work you put into it?
I've now been going to 3 Wake Forest home games. It's just been hard to watch because they jack up 30 or 40 3-point attempts a night.
You know, I've said this about Steph and company. I said that Steph has turned an anomaly into a weapon. Steph took an anomaly and turned it into a weapon.
Yep.
And Steve Kerr seized on that.
Right.
And created a strategy out of it.
Right.
When you get threes in the flow of your offense, that's one thing. But to do what the rest of the NBA is doing and just jack up threes for the heck of it, it's not working.
Why are 6'10" and 7-footers shooting 3-pointers? Why?
Joel Embiid, we're talking
to you. Exactly. Why?
Joel Embiid.
Take the ball to the basket and at least get, if you're fouled, so what? At least, heck, nobody can even shoot free throws anymore for that matter.
You know, no one wants to talk about, and we mentioned this a few seconds ago, no one wants, and I'm going to expand on this tomorrow. No one wants to talk about the fact that the Golden State Warriors are first in the West right now.
Nope. They all want to talk about the Lakers, who are irrelevant.
They want to talk about the Lakers. They want to talk about the Suns. They're irrelevant. The Denver Nuggets, they're irrelevant. They're expecting, and they are even expecting the Kings, who are locked in the 8th spot right now, and I'm going to be watching this all throughout the season. The Golden State Warriors are 10-2 and are sitting up top not only the Pacific Division, but they're sitting up top the Western Conference.
And if you look, they get about, if not the highest, one of the highest ratings per team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
TV
and they're one of the highest scoring teams in the NBA. No one wants to talk about it. Why is that? Because it's Golden State and people expect that dynasty to be dead.
It's not.
It's not. And I'll tell you, one player that's rescuing the Warriors right now, aside of Steph, Buddy Hield.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Buddy Hield.
He's found a team that he doesn't have to be the star for them.
Exactly.
He can be the second or third option and be okay.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
And he's coming off the bench doing it. He's doing great with Golden State right now.
And I disagree. I don't know if it's totally his decision, whether it is or not. I disagree with some of the player decisions they made in the Olympics, but who can deny what Steve Kerr's done as a coach?
You know, I never talked about this after the Olympics. But why didn't Steph Curry get awarded the MVP of the Olympics, especially with what he did in the gold medal game?
Well, just like
Why?
we're talking about. It's a popularity contest.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's true.
It's not like baseball where stats actually matter.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of we
baseball,
ever going to find out who wins these awards in baseball?
No. I don't know. Speaking
I
of baseball,
I love baseball, but it's just ridiculous how long it takes for them to do things. It's
Right.
like a glacial effort to get them to do anything.
It is. It is. I mean, let me ask you this, Jay. Where does Pete Alonso wind up?
One of my best friends is a big Mets fan. He still thinks he's going to sign with the Mets. I don't think he's going to sign with the Mets. I think if he were going to be with the Mets, he had already signed with the Mets.
I think so too.
I think he's going to end up somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know where, but I don't think he's going to sign with the Mets because it goes back to analytics, and their analytics people clearly see him as a declining player who plays first base.
By the way, Jay, to answer your question, the awards for the MLB are going to be handed out on the 20th and 21st. We do have the finalists who were announced for MVP for both leagues and Cy Young for both leagues.
I understand that, and I appreciate that. But what other sport does it well after the season's over?
None of them. It's usually right after.
I know they want to keep people involved with the sport. I get that. But we're well after the World Series before any of these major awards are being announced. I mean, we're 3 or 4 weeks out now.
Right after the Dodgers beat up the Yankees.
I mean, I understand they want people to keep it, and especially with hot stove coming up and the winter meetings and all that other stuff coming up. I get that, but don't wait till 3 or 4 weeks after the World Series to announce your MVP and Cy Young.
One football note that just came down: Daniel Jones has been benched.
I saw that. Yes. But if you read between the lines, you see one of the reasons why. It says if he were hurt in the second half of the season, they would owe him $25 million next year.
Exactly.
So you knew it had something to do other than with his just his play.
Just his play. Yep. And I think the game I saw Daniel Jones, which was Duke against Northern Illinois, in the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit. And yes, I saw that one live. I actually was impressed with Daniel Jones, but then he got drafted by the Giants, and it's let's just say it plainly, it's gone to hell.
Yep.
Well, the other thing, I mean, with him, I know that he just signed a contract, and it doesn't really mean anything in the NFL, but where are they going to go? If they cut him, where are they going to go? Because this draft is not exactly full of quarterbacks this year. So where are they going to go?
Not. When are we going to have a quarterback class again? When are we going to have that?
Well, I told you it's the worst coach position in football.
It is.
And even with the guys who were drafted this past year, look, some of them are playing horribly.
Not our fault. New England can't protect Drake May.
Yeah, I think he's eventually going to be a pretty good player.
I think so too.
It's just a matter that they didn't get him. They didn't start him this year. I mean, he deserved to be started and not sit behind Jacoby.
If you look, I think your two best rookie quarterbacks right now are probably Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. Bo Nix is really playing well.
And Nix has come on lately, especially with what the Broncos did to the Falcons yesterday.
I mean, the Broncos are really playing well.
College football will finish off this discussion. And what do you think next week or this coming weekend, Jay, is the game of the week?
Well, before I get to that, and then thanks for asking. But you just mentioned Northern Illinois.
Yes.
The fact that Notre Dame lost to them should be a disqualifier. However, They're
agree.
what are they? Fifth now, or eighth, or whatever it is.
Yep.
They shouldn't even be anywhere near that high.
They should. You know what? You're right, because they lost to Northern Illinois at home.
If you look at Notre Dame's schedule, it is terrible.
Notre Dame is currently sitting
not
at
playing anybody this year.
Mm-hmm. They didn't. Who did they play? What do we often say on the program, gentlemen? Who did they play?
The best team they played all year is Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah,
they got Army. They got Army at Yankee Stadium this week, and they got Southern Cal next week. Neither of which are that great.
Right. Like I said, Notre Dame's currently sitting at number 6 in the polls.
If they were any other team and played the schedule they played and lost to Northern Illinois, they wouldn't even be in this conversation.
They would not be in the conversation.
But I still hear people. One of my best friends, who I was just talking about as a Mets fan, a lot of New Yorkers glom on Notre Dame. He's one of those guys. He vows and protects them, says they're great and this and that. No, they're not.
Nope.
I haven't seen. I'm really serious about this. I told him a couple weeks ago. I said there are 25 teams who can beat Notre Dame, and he just laughed and laughed and laughed. I said, and I'm a big college football fan. He's not really. He just glums on Notre Dame.
Yes,
I really do believe there are 25 teams who can beat Notre Dame pretty easily.
I believe so too.
Oh, easily.
I believe so too. The one game where I think
the only team they're just the SEC, which I follow religiously, even though I don't have a team in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe outside of maybe, I know Vanderbilt's had a really good year, but I don't think they can beat Notre Dame on a consistent basis. Man, Mississippi State has been horrible this year.
Yeah,
but outside of them, everybody else is really good.
Mm-hmm. And they all can beat Notre Dame.
And then you look at the Big Ten; there are very few bad teams.
Does Indiana have a chance in Columbus?
I certainly hope so. I would love for them to beat Ohio State.
I'd love for Indiana. My wife's a graduate of Indiana, and I promised her I'd cover that game this coming weekend. I would love for Indiana to spring the upset of the year and beat them in Columbus.
I hope he stays there. I know they just signed a contract extension for a lot of money, but I still don't believe he's going to end up his coaching career there.
Yeah.
I don't believe Signetti's ever going to. He can talk a big game all he wants. If somebody offers him, $10 or $12 million, or heck, even an NFL job, can't tell me he's going to stay in Indiana.
Yeah. Well, that's Jay Spivey in our Spivey Notes, joining us here this morning as he does every Monday. Thank you very much, sir. We love you very much. Great insight. We'll see you next Monday.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Yep.
Nathan Rourke's little brother just might have a surprise in Columbus. We'll discuss that on Thursday.
I was about to say before we got out of here, did you actually want to know the top 25?
We'll do that tomorrow.
Sounds good.
We'll do that tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. By the way, Caleb Williams, You suck.
Oh, God, Commish. Come on.
Oh, by the way, not only does Caleb Williams suck, but Joel Embiid, you suck too. Bye.
Do you know what you're listening to?
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.